Now for business updates across the globe, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning to all our viewers out there. Yeah, we're looking for money, all right? We're looking for investment opportunities around the world. Blackstone, according to one of the largest investors, asset managers on planet Earth, saying that Japan and India are where the 2024 global investment opportunities are. This is according to their head of private equity, Mr. Joseph Bharata. I think he was talking to Nikkei Asia, which is one of the largest Asian publications in media. They're talking about investment opportunities. If you take a look at what he said, just a quick excerpt from there. He said, India has the highest growth. It also has the most ebullient stock market. Japan will also be very interesting as a market. So all eyes on 2024 in terms of where to put money. To the United States, look at Berkshire Hathaway's cash and cash equivalents for the third quarter of 2020. They released this on Saturday. $157 billion in raw cash that this company is sitting on. That's, of course, the sage of Omaha, Mr. Warren Buffett, who, of course, they released their results. Of course, now, their Q3 stock portfolio, $319 billion, it's down about 10% from about 353. They have sold off in total, I think, about $40 billion worth of shares. Market has been a bit uneven, but investors around the world are looking to see where they're going to be deploying parts of that 157 billion. I mean, that is a staggering amount of money. The only company I can think of that has more in cash is probably Apple. Thank you. Apple has maybe 220 billion. So look,
Rotus, this man doesn't own a private jet too.
There's not. He drives everywhere. I still have his old truck in Nebraska. Him and Charlie Munger. So right now it's just like where are the investors going? Where is the money? So that's for Berkshire Hathaway. You come to Nigeria. Here's the headline in today's business day. Naira rally below 1,000 lures investors. Again, they're continuing to talk about the Naira moving from about 1,300 October 26 to just under 1,000, just around 1,000. Now, look, if this was the reverse and the Naira had gone from 1,003 to 1,006, you would think the sky was falling, right? End game for FX speculators as Naira begins recovery. That is from the Daily Independent. The question now is whether this rally can be sustained, because it's going to be about the fundamentals for the currency. Today's This Day, shout out to the folks at This Day for picking up on this, because not many other publications did. Fitch, I think we're at B-, affirming Nigeria's credit rating, outlook stable, saying inflation should be below 21%. I mean, we'll see about that, because there's still a lot of pressures with respect to inflation, and we're looking forward to the next monetary policy committee meeting as to what decisions they make. Right now, it's been very interesting looking at the central bank and what they're doing. But very quickly, Euro bonds as well. If you look at how Nigerian Euro bonds performed as at Friday, this was also very encouraging. So you see here the 2-year, 5, 7, and 10. Your current yield is down from your prior yield, and you see your change there going down. This is good because your relationship between yield and price is inverse. So if your yield is going down, that means the price of your bond is going up. If the price of your bond is going up, that means that there is demand for those Euro bonds. So that's what we saw then. So, and by the way, that's paid in dollars. We get to the CBN now and what they've been doing in terms of what's been happening with the Naira. The CBN is incentivizing more investors to hold Naira. They had back-to-back OMO auctions in their pathway to going more orthodox for monetary policy. This is October 30th. You can see the 365-day paper to the far right of your screen. 17.5%, and you see the subscription there. They offered 150 billion and the subscription was for 343, so it was oversubscribed. Investors now moving towards that area, and by the way, folks should actually talk to their brokers about investing in Nigeria and getting more paper. This was a back-to-back, another OMO auction November 1st. 342-day paper, look at that, 17.98%. Not quite where inflation is, but still, they are doing what they can to try to raise interest rates to incentivize holding of the Naira. So what they do is two things. One, you are draining liquidity from the system. You are incentivizing people to hold the Naira, and that, of course, to try to curb, as best as they can, dollar demand. But there's still, of course, the fundamentals that you have to look at. So Mr. Yemi Cardoso, he is trying to pursue a more orthodox monetary policy at this point. We're We're going to see what happens with the next MPC meeting that takes place. It looks like they will probably still hike, but he's really trying to drain liquidity. And if you're a speculator and you think you can, anyway, speculators have already lost some money now. So right now, the markets are just looking to see how much further this can be maintained. So again, we look forward to that next meeting. On the retail side, I've been getting a lot of questions on social media about where to park your money. This month, this new week, there will be a new window offered from the Debt Management Office, the federal government savings bond. They open these savings bonds at the beginning of every new a week starting with Monday for every new month. So the new month of November started in Wednesday last week. So I think they'll be offering it for this week. So this is what we saw with the October savings bond, 2-year bond at 11%, 3-year at 12. You've got 4 different dates for your coupon payments. Just a minimum of 5,000 for big people like Doctor, maximum of 50 million naira to invest there. And look, right now the focus is where to park your money. The stock market is at 36% year to date. So stocks doing all right. Fixed income, they're raising rates. Put your money in Nigeria.
I mean that's a good one.
Money in Nigeria.
And that's a good one. So like I was saying about Warren Buffett, so he owns a private jet company. I think it's called NetJets.
I think he invested in it.
I invested heavily in it, you know. What I was just trying to bring out, but he also owns a private jet, I mean, scratch that. What I was trying to bring out is the frugality of his mindset and how it works. And that's why he's been able to build Healthware Berkshire over these years. I mean, look at those numbers, Rotus.
That was the 157 billion, I mean, yeah.
Cash.
Yeah.
There are many nations that I know that don't have that money.
Yes, that's
Cash.
true.
So see what he's been able to do and see what he's turned Berkshire Hathaway into a monster. And he has the eye to pick stocks. Remember Coca-Cola in the 80s?
Yeah.
When they gave Coca-Cola, you remember Geico, the insurance company, and he always gets this deal right. And apart from that, he has also given back to his homeland, Omaha, Nebraska. That's why when he has a conference of all of this, his big heads,
Omaha,
it's always in Omaha.
Yeah.
So those are good ones. I'm really excited about what's happening to Naira. And this morning, kudos to the CBN. Kudos to the CBN. There's a lot of big work going on. And guess what? I like the way Mr. Cardozo does it. He doesn't talk.
Yeah, action.
He just gets the work done. So kudos to this man. God bless him 1,000 times over. And that's why I was a little bit taken aback when a mutual friend of ours, and I just wanted to correct that,
Yeah.
Mr. Tawo Oyedele, he had no need to go to talk about what's happening in the Forex market.
Yeah.
He should fix his tax stuff.
Yeah.
He had no need to go speak about it on Bloomberg, what is happening. I'm happy with what is happening in Omo. I'm happy with what's happening as regards the bills. And look at the rates, they're quite impressive.
Yeah.
Let's put a figure to it. So what if you put 50 million naira? So as I know that they do T-bills, you first get the interest rate up front. So that's about 10%. That's about how many? 5 to 6 million naira.
Exactly.
You get paid up front first. Then the money is kept there for you. Then you still gain on it.
And you can reinvest that
And
interest.
you can reinvest it. So what it means is that if you put out that 50 million naira, you first collect your 5 million naira out of it. Then you now put the money out there. So it's a good time for the economy in this country. We can only do better. But the parameters are not still good. If you look at the Fitch report that talks about weak governance and other things, but things can look up. Indeed. So kudos to CBN this morning.
Well, Chile Adebayo was on this program last week. And one of the things he said was that, look, the CBN should not be too loquacious. It should just intervene and we will see the effect.
Yeah.
When Cardoso got there as CBN governor, he said his major priority will be to ensure stability and to address the backlog of FX.
Yes.
And the whole idea is that if you address the FX backlog, then you'll be able to rebuild confidence among investors. So the expectation is that with the Naira now firming up a bit against the dollar, that investors would, have some confidence within the system. However, the question is where you started. Will it be sustained? Because Yemi Kale, who I believe is qualified to comment on the subject, said, look, what you find is based on inflows from all these cash swap agreements. And it's because of that now that they are having, enough revenue to manage the FX backlog. So for how long can that be sustained? If it is sustained, it will be really, really, a good thing to see. The only unfortunate thing is that here in Nigeria, when things go down.
Yes.
Right?
I see where you're going.
When, prices that have gone up, never come down.
Yes.
Because, and that was why I was asking
Mr. Okonkwo, Professor Okonkwo.
Professor Okonkwo,
Yes.
that, okay, now that we seem to be having some good news on the Forex side, will let tickets come down? You know, he was laughing. He says, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. But the expectation, of course, is that the government, you know, should ensure stability within the system, ensure that the Naira firms up, and that with time, if it is sustained, we'll see the general effect within the economy. I was going to talk about two other things.
Yes.
The first one is the artificial intelligence. You know, Elon Musk has launched his own
Grok or something, yeah.
Grok,
Yeah,
it is called. And when he was trying to show an example of how it works, you know, Grok was teaching people on X how to make homemade cocaine, which draws attention to the same issue that some commentators raised last week at the AI summit in the UK. That look, yes, this may be a positive thing in terms of technology and advancement of mankind, but it can do a lot of things. And Elon Musk will say, look, he's going to have, you know, to respond to questions that some other, you know, apps may not be able to respond to. At the same time, Ant Group, the financial side of Alibaba, yes, you know, they've also been given approval by the Chinese authorities. The Chinese authorities say if you want to go in the way of AI, you must get authorization from government. Well, I think China is the only country that does that now. But the Americans are saying they're going to police artificial intelligence more closely. I hope that that will happen, because as we have seen, every technology has its other side.
Indeed.
Let us not get to a stage where children will be going on
to go and learn how
ChatGPT to go and learn how to prepare cocaine at home.
Oh, Doctor, sorry, you just reminded me. I think we have this aviation thing you mentioned, the price. A ticket on October the 3rd, purchased a round trip from Lagos to Abuja, 147,000. About almost 70% of that, 80,000 naira, was a surcharge for diesel. So it just shows you, you know, what the impact that diesel prices are having on tickets. Thanks for bringing that up with Professor Okonkwo. It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.